Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
Alright guys, so I figured I'd start today's video off by explaining to you guys the story of how Leroy and Ruby almost didn't make it to Rocky Mountain Race Week. And some of you probably saw my story on 1320 videos intro to race week because they caught me, and we talked about it a little bit. But you guys saw in our video that we were late to race week. We only made tech by 25 minutes, and it was open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We made it there at 2:35 is when we got the cars out of the trailer. So originally the plan was to drive to Rocky Mountain Race Week. We were gonna take Monica and the stacker and take, you know, Ruby and Leroy ourselves there. But that's 1,600 miles of driving, and then we had an additional 1,300 in the cars and then 1,600 home. So it's really hard on the guys. Just driving there would be a lot of wear and tear on them, especially James being gone from his family for as long as race week alone took 8 days. So another 3 on top of the front and the back, you know, it was gonna be a long time. So I figured, let's get the stacker transported out there and we'll fly so that we can save ourselves some time and not be so hard on ourselves driving wise before all this even starts. And then at the end of it, be like, holy crap, now we gotta drive home. So I use a guy that we've used before, great guy. This story says nothing bad about him. If anything, it shows good character. This guy came, picked up the stacker in a timely fashion. I think he picked it up on Tuesday. We needed it there Friday night, and he began his journey from Tampa, Florida to Denver, Colorado, which is a long freaking haul, 1,600 miles or whatever it is. And he got, you know, so in that meantime, we flew to the Boosted Boys shop, started hanging out with them, filming videos. You know, it kept us fresh, allowed us to have some fun before the week started, which was awesome because hanging out with the Boosted Boys is one of our favorite things to do. So it kind of got everyone motivated, in the mood to go work, because Rocky Mountain Race Week, although it looks glorious, is a ton of work. Getting the cars ready, keeping them maintained, keeping them running, keeping them moving strong so we could have an epic week of racing. So that night when we left to go to Pueblo, which is the start location of race week, the guy transporting the trailer texts me and says, hey man, I'm having truck problems. He has an F350. I think it was a 2012 or 2010, somewhere in there. And he's like, hey, I want to tell you right now, I'm having truck issues. And his issues at the time were an oil line, an external oil line that's under pressure, had started leaking. So he ended up, you know, updating me, cutting the line off, put a new line on, you know, using hose clamps and things like that. Started driving for another half hour or so and had the line blow off again. Then he got a different type of oil line, a higher pressure one from a truck stop, said this is gonna be the one. So all this time, it is now 3 a.m. Saturday, or it's about 2:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and I stayed up all through the night talking to the transporter because I was so concerned about the trailer making it to race week on time, because we have invested so much time, so much labor, so much money into getting Leroy and Ruby prepped, having that trailer ready to go. It left on time, everything. I mean, so much came together between our, you know, people who sponsor us, shops we work with, like our transmission being overnighted for Leroy, things like that. So much stuff came together to make this happen, and I was like, wow, we might miss race week. So I stayed up through the night, and it's about 2:30, and he says, hey, I got the oil line on, we're good to go, I think this is it. And he started driving. He said, just did some full throttle pulls, everything feels good. And keep in mind, this trailer is 20,000 pounds, so not just any truck can pull it. And so he says, okay, you're good, you know. So I go to sleep for maybe 10 minutes after he sends his text. I'm asleep for 15 minutes, and I slept with my phone on my face. I slept on top of it in case something happened. So phone starts ringing, wakes me up immediately. I answer, it's a transport guy. He says, I don't know what you guys have to do, but my truck just caught on fire and has burned to the point where it's totaled the engine. He had an engine bay fire. The truck didn't burn to the ground, but he had an engine bay fire, disabling the truck. At that point, there's no return for him. There's no way he can repair a harness on the side of the road. So luckily he got the fire out, and you guys, as you guys know, we keep a bunch of fire safety equipment in the trailer. We have a huge fire aid 3-gallon thing, couple of fire extinguishers, things like that. I think he actually put it out with water, I don't know. But truck catches on fire, it's completely disabled. I'm like, drop me a pin. He drops me a pin, it shows 5.5 hours away or something, 5-6 hours. So I called Jamie from Boosted Boys. You know, Jamie lives in Colorado, obviously. He's the one who drove us to Pueblo with the little U-Haul trailer. So I called Jamie up at 3 in the morning now. It's like 3:05. And he doesn't answer, but he had already known about these issues. So I call him again, and he's got his Ram 2500 single rear wheel, and he answers. So I'm like, bro, the transport truck caught on fire. We have to go rescue the stacker. So Jamie, being the G that he is, doesn't even hesitate. He goes, okay. Somehow the guy makes it to my hotel in under 10 minutes from my phone call. 10 minutes, Jamie's at my hotel with the little U-Haul. So we throw it in a random parking spot at our hotel. We hop in the truck. His wife came too, she's awesome. And we bomb out all the way to Amarillo, Texas from Pueblo. So I was already tired because I had flown in that morning. So we had left Tampa at what, 4 a.m. Cooper? And then we were up all the way, and then I stayed up through the night. So now it's, you know, 3:15 in the morning. Still haven't slept really, but maybe 10 minutes. And Jamie's like, I got this. Jamie knocks out 3 hours straight of driving from 3 a.m. to 6 or 7 a.m. Then I hop in, drive, we get to the trailer. Here's the photos of us pulling up. You know, the transport guy is super apologetic, but there was nothing he could do, you know? Like, what is he supposed to do that the truck had this major issue? It was a catastrophic problem. I don't blame him one bit. And he hooked us up on pricing because of the issue. So Jamie and I pull his Ram 2500 around, his 2-wheel drive, single rear wheel Ram 2500, back it up to this 20,000 pound stacker, and most people wouldn't even think about doing this. Wouldn't even think about towing this trailer with this truck. Stock transmission, bone stock truck. I mean, nothing done to it. I don't even know how many miles it has on it. I'll have to ask Jamie, and maybe I'll put it here. But we hook it up to the stacker, and we lower the jack, and the back of the truck is going down and down and down and down and down and down. No joke, the hitch is this high off the ground. And Jamie and I are looking at each other like, holy crap, the truck is like this, the stacker is like this. No good. So luckily, by the grace of Jamie, he had airbags on his truck, helper bags for towing. So we get the air compressor out, and we always charge it up for the transport guy, so in case he needs it, it's full. We freaking hook this thing up to the helper bags, 90 PSI in each bag. The truck's like, whoop, stands back up. The stacker is now level, and we shake hands because we don't have any time. So I don't know, maybe it's 8:30 or something. We flew there, so we made pretty good time there. So we hook up, we start driving away, and I'm driving at this point because I just wanted to see how it towed. I'm the only one who's really towed the stacker with Buffy or anything. And I mean, to get to 60 mile an hour took some time because we were being so kind to Jamie's truck, being that it's a bone stock Dodge, bone stock 2500 transmission, whatever it has in it. And the last thing we wanted to do was create another mechanical issue that limited us from getting there. So the fastest we could go in Jamie's truck without it being freaking just killed, upshifting and all that, was 63 miles an hour. The fans are going on and off the whole way. We get fuel one time, so we get into the mountains then, and the truck is like screaming away, and we're going as slow as we can up these hills. Temp is climbing. We got the heat blast in the truck trying to keep the temp down. Old Faithful makes it through the mountains no problem. So long story short, we make it back to Pueblo. It's now 2:35 p.m. when we pull into the track. Jamie and I are exhausted, and granted, Jamie drove more than me, so he's really exhausted. If you watch the video, you know, I hadn't showered in like 48 hours. I've been up the whole time. We freaking get the cars out of the trailer. We go over to tech. They let us through. Pretty much no problems. And I was just like, oh my gosh, we made it. I actually hugged Jamie right when we got out of the truck, and I almost shed a tear. I was so happy. I was so grateful for Jamie that day. You know, I'm always grateful for Jamie, but he came through for us on a whole new level. Saved probably the best week of content I think we've ever had on the channel. And dude, just forever, I owe Jamie big time on something, dude. Oh man, what a crazy day. So shout out to Jamie from PFI Speed, you freaking legend. So thankful for his Dodge too. Shout out to Old Faithful, Old Blue. What a day and a half. So, but to finish up the story, the stacker did make it back today, and that's what we're gonna go talk about here in a minute. The transporter fella rented a 2019 Ram 3500 dually, towed it back beautifully, no issues at all. But imagine that, 25 minutes longer in this whole process, and our whole Rocky Mountain race week could have been over. That's like the craziest thing to me, because so much time, labor, money that we had all worked so hard to make this happen, and it all almost came crashing down. So that's my crazy story of the day. And before we go out to the trailer, I also want to tell you guys that we're gonna go run Leroy at the track and run some 7s for everybody, because there's some misinformed comments that people are like, Leroy hasn't ran 7s since his new setup. Guys, that engine's been in since World Cup. We went 780s at World Cup. We've ran 7s at Test and Tunes. You guys got to understand that to go on a race like Rocky Mountain Race Week, you can't, I mean, a lot of you guys do understand this, so no one take this to heart except for the people leaving these comments. You got to understand, you can't run a 7-second stick car 7 seconds all the time. We broke a transmission on an 830 pass. It's hard on them to run 7s. So unless you absolutely need to run 7s, you just don't. Okay? It's just that simple. So yes, if we were in competition against a 7-second car, I need to make the car run 7s. And have we struggled with it? I will absolutely admit that we haven't been as fast with Leroy lately as we could be. But it's just, we haven't been in the type of setting where we've had to have the car cranked to the moon. And how we've always done things around here is, unless we have our 60 foots down good, unless we're doing that first 8th mile real good, there's no point in turning the car out, because then you're just loading the transmission so hard, you're wearing out parts. It's just how racing works, guys. You don't just turn your car up and it goes a number, right? You gotta use your head. And I think so many of you understand that, but there's always gonna be a few people who don't. But this week we're gonna take it to Test and Tune. Even straight out of race week, we're just gonna clean them off today, go run some 7s for everybody. So for now, let's go outside. We got some stuff to deal with the trailer, and shoot, other than that, we just got to get back in our normal racing routine. Hey Stacy, how you doing, girl? Old Faithful here. Damn, we got some trashed cars in here. We got a little mess of things going on in here. We kind of just chucked everything in the trailer after race week because we were just so over it. You can't believe
pretty much what happened.
How beat up the cars are. Holy crap, Leroy's covered in oil from Ruby. Ruby's covered in mud and grime from the roads. Damn.
Look at the Leroy's intake.
I know, I see that. Dude, we're gonna have some serious degreasing and pressure washing to do to get these cars back to the state they were in.
All the power.
Yeah, my goodness. I mean, literally everything in and out of Leroy is trashed. Everything in and out of Ruby is hammered.
Look at this side of Ruby.
This is bad.
There's no more
You clear brought it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You poor thing, Ruby. I really didn't think they were in this bad of shape, but seeing them after race week, I guess we were just used to it.
Yeah. As it gradually gets worse each day, you don't notice it, but
yeah,
when you don't look at it for
a couple days and you
then
see
next
this,
thing you know, it's like pow.
Wow. All right, let's get him out of the trailer and start cleaning him up. Leroy first, because we're gonna race him tomorrow. This is the plan of action for cleaning. We're gonna do the old spray and then clean the floor trim. Gosh, I am ripped.
That was impressive.
Sometimes, oh geez, hold on. Gonna rip the mirror off.
So is it time for new brake pads all around?
Sorry, I thought the ramps weren't on. Damn, this is about to get sporty.
That would have been sick. Self-tappers.
It's legit, not molds, baby.
Yeah.
I think this home. Pretty cool though. I like their trophies.
Yeah.
You know, there's some time put into them. That means a lot to a racer.
Yep. All water jet cut.
All right, let's see what we're working with here. Ew. All the dirt around the freaking plug there. All right, the trick is here to not drop it. Ooh, that is some dark oil. Ooh, that's nasty. I mean, it could be worse, but it's pretty dark. It's darker than normal. I mean, normally our oil only gets, you know, 5 miles or 10 miles. That's a lot of passes. This got 1,300 on it. I think maybe 7 or 8 passes, maybe 10. It's pretty nasty. But you know what? This is a gosh dang street car. And guys, we are thinking about doing drag week. We're gonna try and get in on it, but not 100% sure because they're probably gonna force Leroy into a class we don't want to be in, but we're working on it. We're trying to talk to some people. We might get it going and be able to have 2 race weeks in 1 year, and then, you know, obviously we'll do Rocky Mountain Race Week again next year, but we are trying for you.
Hey neighbor, mind doing mine next? I'll pull it around.
I only got 1 minute. It's a little dirty.
Perfect.
You don't mind some scratches?
My Tahoe's dirtier than this on the daily.
Sorry, no full-size trucks, ish stuff, SUVs.
Oh. You drive this home tonight?
Yeah, good. Take a little Okie for a rip.
Yeah, street tires and all. You're ready. He said it's more reliable than the F1 Smoke'em, so he's gonna drive it. He's gonna daily it a little bit.
So you can take Okie to swimming lessons.
Yeah, take her in the right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna finish cleaning up Ruby. We're just putting some oil on Leroy, cleaning him up some more, but everything looks really good on these cars. I can't stress enough how proud I am of these cars and what we've been able to build here. And you know, everybody on our team has worked really hard to make these reliable, whether it's fast forward race engines or Texas speed. You know, we put some really good components in these engines and they paid off last week by bringing home first place for Leroy. I mean, for the little maintenance that we did on the cars, it's mind-boggling. I never thought they'd be able to do 1,300 miles that easily. So I'm sure next year we'll have it really hard. Because it went pretty well this year.
We got beginner's luck.
I think we might have got beginner's luck. But we're gonna end off today's video there. We got some maintenance to do on the car still, but Leroy is gonna be tested this week, hoping to run some 7-second runs in him. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Do it for Dale. We'll freaking see you later.